Lonmin was incorporated in the UK in 1909 as the London and Rhodesian Mining and Land Company. It is the owner of the Marikana mine, where a group of workers were killed in labour unrest in August. Lonmin has a market cap of 13 billion rand and is currently profitable but pays no dividends. Lonmin, and of course this is a tough one because many thought they weren't going to make it through this crisis. Are they going to make it through this crisis?
Well, they've breached their debt covenants. In other words, people, banks and others that lent the money said that if the sort of debt to equity ratios got to a certain point, they would have to push for a recapitalization, in other words, an equity raising. So, having traded at 600 Rand a share, now trading at 60, they're doing a 9-for-5 rights issue at less than 20 Rand a share, which is one of those sort of you got mugged.
This is emergency. This is an emergency.
Emergency fundraising. They've got the fight going on with Xstrata, which owns 25% of their shares. The CEO got cancer and had to leave the job.
Did I get that wrong? They're not profitable.
Not currently
They're
profitable.
not currently profitable. All right, I did. My apologies. So Lonmin, they're
not a happy
not
situation
profitable
on many fronts.
Rob, is there any light at the end of the tunnel?
There's a lot of risk at the moment. So they're going to vote whether they're going to accept the rights issue this week. If they don't accept that rights issue, and if shareholders don't accept it, their covenants will be broken again, and they'll have to pay back $550 million by March next year. So there's just so much risk around Lonmin. Their assets are very good. They do mine at in the medium level of the cost curve, so they can be profitable. Xstrata Lonmin like their assets. They want to keep them in South Africa, and they've given us the view that they're here for the long term. But there's so much risk.
Do you believe them?
Well, I do believe them if they get this money in. The question is, where's this share going to trade after the rights issue?
Have you got to be crazy to buy it before the rights issue? Or is it going to rally?
Yeah.
I mean, is the risk worth it?
Let's just unpack that. So 60 Rand, the current share price, has done terribly amidst all of this drama. Now they're doing a rights issue where they offer you the opportunity to buy 9 shares for every 5 you currently have at 20 Rand. So there's a massive discount there. So if you don't follow your rights,
discount, effectively.
And it's massively discounted also in the sense that the share is going to be massively diluted. So if you don't follow your rights, basically you're going to be a tiny minority shareholder. So basically everybody is sort of going to follow their rights. It's been underwritten by a group of banks, I'm sure, who are going to get paid an absolute packet for that too. Now, Xstrata, being the 25% shareholder, haven't yet said whether they're going to follow their rights or not. Plus, Xstrata...
Is that the elephant in the room, the gorilla in the room?
But the other thing that Xstrata have said is that they want to merge their platinum and other sort of chrome and other assets in South Africa into Lonmin in exchange for control of Lonmin, but then the management team must be fired. So the management team at Lonmin said, no, we don't like that idea, not at all, not one bit. So now it's kind of like you've got guys taking shots at each other across the bulwarks. They may come back with a higher offer. It's a tricky one. Again, my only thought on this ultimately is that the sort of 100 million ounces or whatever that Lonmin has under the ground in Marikana are still there, and it's a good ore body.
And that's what we've got to really talk about, is that the investment case from the asset base, I mean, as Paul says, that's not going to disappear. Yes,
no real new platinum discoveries anywhere else in the world.
And so we produce 80% of the world's platinum right here in South Africa. Between Anglo Platinum, Impala and Lonmin, that's pretty much the majority of its sonar.
Absolutely. So, yes, there is an investment case, but there's just so much risk. And we saw if you buy in the share 60 Rand or below, you should you should make money on the whole transaction. So 60 Rand and below, maybe if you want to take some risk, that's more or less where you can enter the trade before the rights issue.
Hot or not, Paul, on Lonmin?
I think Xstrata gets it in the end, but I don't think it's going to be a good scenario for minorities, so not hot.
Hot or not, Rob?
Not hot.